What's up, YouTube? It's artisanmc, and for this PMDM, there is some breaking news that everybody should be aware of right now, and it is about the Oscars 2020. And I'll say this up front: I wasn't watching the Oscars. I didn't care anything about the Oscars, and I was actually talking to my mother when she told me about this situation with Will Smith and Chris Rock. And I didn't think too much of it until it came up on my phone that people started going live on it. And so I went online, found a clip to see what it was because I wasn't watching the Oscars. I gave less than any fucks about the Oscars right now. I don't care. I didn't really know what was happening tonight if people wasn't telling me about it. And the alerts weren't coming up on my phone about people. And I think that in a way, what happened was actually beneficial for the Oscars because it got people to watch it. Otherwise, nobody would be talking about it. Now, for all of you who don't know, apparently Will Smith slapped fire out of Chris Rock because Chris Rock made a joke about Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and her lack of hair. Now, when I heard that Will Smith had actually slapped Chris Rock, I thought, what is it about? That sounds kind of messed up. When I heard that he was making a joke about Jada, I'm like, you gotta leave that man alone about he and his wife situation. You gotta leave him alone. And then I actually saw the video, the uncut video of what was said. And yeah, I could see why the dude got slapped. Now, the only shocking part about this at all is the fact that Will Smith, well known, nice guy Will Smith, got up out of his seat, walked on the stage on live television, and slapped the shit out of a comedian for making a joke about his wife. What's important, and why everybody thought it was fake or not fake, is the fact that after he did that, he went and sat back down and told that comedian what he needed to do twice and repeated it with vengeance. He projected his voice. And everybody can say Will Smith was a great actor and all that was fake. That was not fake. That was not fake. No. You're going to have to prove it to me that it was fake. Because all the evidence around it shows that it wasn't fake. Now, I am going to play the clip. I found a clip of it unedited. All right. And I'm going to play the clip not for salaciousness, just so we can understand it, and then I will talk about it and break that shit down. That's why I'm doing this video, so I can get some clear thoughts out and take my ass to bed, because I could be listening to AM going in on it, but I had my own thoughts too. So I'm gonna put my thoughts out on pre-recorded and let y'all digest that tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go on with the rest of my night because I got shit to do. So I'm gonna pull this clip up. Fair use, fair use, fair use. I don't own it. And neither does the person who put the shit up. So I'm going to add this to the screen and minimize myself. And you'll probably hear it on my end. Hopefully not with too much reverb. But I may stop it from time to time to let you know. This is the 2022 Oscars. This is Chris Rock. And this is what happened. And I'll say this up front. I don't have anything against Chris Rock. I don't have anything against Will Smith, but I'll let you see it. But what I think happened, what this probably should have happened. So here we go.
London. I love the part when they say, King Man don't got nothing on me. Y'all gotta see it. It's really good. You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated.
Now, seeing this clip is what let me know that this was going in a bad direction because I already know what happens later, right? And seeing this setup, he starts talking about husbands and wives. Okay, here we go. Going in.
Now, if she loses, he can't win. He's praying that Will Smith wins, but please, Lord.
Now, what I just noticed, this is how he gets to Will in his transition of comedy, understanding how comics set up their jokes, right? Right behind Javier's wife is Jason Momoa, who's going through some shit with marriage too. So all these people are sitting close by, but joking on Javier and his wife got him to talking about Will also being nominated. Now you watch this shit, how this joke goes over with the crowd. They was laughing at the Javier shit. Watch how this joke goes over.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Now this is the look. This is the look you should focus on. Will's laughing. Lupita's kind of grinning. Jada is not laughing at that shit. Jada is not laughing. But that's a good joke on her because she's bald and she's wearing green. G.I. Jane would be the good association for somebody who's a Gen Xer to make about her being bald. Now, Will ain't looking at Jada. He's just, yeah, whatever. Okay, here we go. You heard the audience reaction. It was kind of a loose joke, like,
that was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Oh,
now, right here, you watch how that man's walking. You can think that something funny is going to happen because Will is kind of comical and he was laughing just a half a second ago. And Chris is kind of laughing it off because he doesn't know what's going on. Because, oh. Now, for me, this is how you know it ain't fake. Chris Rock is a seasoned stand-up comedian. He's been on stage in front of audiences telling jokes that they don't fucking like. Somebody has heckled him more than once in his life. He got to know what's happening. He got to know what's going on at this point. Stand-up comedians work in some of the smallest clubs when they're getting started up with some of the roughest audiences. They got to know when somebody up there on some real shit. They have to know that. And they have to be ready for it. And like a pitcher that's beaning batters in the batter's box, when that motherfucker come up to the mound, you got to know that it's about business. He ain't up there just to talk to you while you keep throwing balls in my head. No. You need to know that shit.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of it.
And that's how you know it's not fake. That's how you know it's not fake. He had his head down. He wasn't looking at him in the eyes. He went up there and he smacked the shit out of that man. Right? That's another reason you know it's not fake. Here's the evidence. Chris Rock is shocked. And he's saying it out loud to get it through his own head. Oh, wow, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. He can't believe it. Can't believe it. And he felt all of it. Now, you could say that Will Smith was a great actor, so he was faking. Chris Rock ain't a great actor. Does it look like his reaction is fake? Now look at that man's face and what he said. Does he look like he's joking? Now you can say he's a great actor. Okay, he's a great actor. Look at the people around him. They know he ain't joking. They feel it. He is not joking. Look at her face. She's stern, like, oh, she ain't smiling. She don't want that smoke. What is he saying? He knows he's on live television. And you don't care. That means he's not thinking about where the hell he is.
Wow, dude. It was a GI Jane jump. My wife's name out your fucking mouth.
See her? See her face? She's like, oh. And he is looking on him. He is focused on him. He ain't thinking about nobody else. He's thinking about him. He meant that shit.
I'm going to, okay?
And Chris is like, I'm going to. He knows he's serious. He knows he's serious. Not just because he said it, because he already came up there and smacked the shit out of his ass. Now, he can come back for seconds. He can keep pushing it, but he knows that man is serious now. And he meant that shit in front of everybody.
Okay.
And here's the rest. See that face? He's shook now. He is now shook. You listen to Chris Rock after this, he can't even remember his fucking script, and it's on a board in front of him. He's shook up. He is really shook. He can't believe that just happened to him by Will Smith. Yeah, he might have been expecting it from a rapper. He wasn't expecting it from Will Smith, right? Because Will Smith was the lovable, nice guy who's a nice punching bag, and everybody can tease him about his shit, and he let it roll off his back. I'll get to that.
That was the greatest night in the history of television. Okay. So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out for best documentary. Now the
shook. He don't even remember what he up there for now.
beauty of documentaries, so they make you, when you watch one, you feel smart, like you watched them, like you read a book or something. But all you really did was get high and watch Netflix. So here we go.
All right, so that's that. And I played it that one time just to play it through and talk over. Hopefully you guys could hear it. I have to watch it on playback and see if you can hear it. But that was not fake. To me, that was not fake. None of what I saw around those people, the people around them, looked like they were having a fake reaction. Not that they had to all be in on it, but you know when some real shit gonna pop off. If you ever been around a situation like that. And if you haven't, you got a dumb look on your face. What the hell is going on? People knew that was not a game. And he was not playing. Now, let's go through the W's on this. Who? It's Will Smith. What has Will Smith been going through? For the last, 2 years, he's been getting drugged through the media about shit that's coming out of his wife's mouth. Things she did that somebody else was talking on. Embarrassing him. Coming on camera, having him at the red table to air all this stuff out. Publicly embarrassed. Memed. Gift. I even used the shit. I just used it in one of my last videos. Entanglement. Yeah. That shit is funny, right? But you have to think how that feels to the person who's in it. For 2 years, he's been dealing with this shit. And Jada has still been out there doing bigger and bigger shit, dragging him in a personal business out into the public eye and making him a laughing stock in Hollywood. Because throughout all of that, he has held his composure, he has held his masculine frame, and hasn't publicly did anything to disrespect her or whatever. He hasn't even wanted to really talk about it in public, especially after that red tape where he crying and shit. I ain't heard nothing. They went away for a while and came back, and they still be keeping it close. The only one who's still talking is Jada, dragging more business out there, really trying to ruin this man. All of that plays on a person. All of that plays on a person. You have to have a release for that shit. Because enough sometimes is enough. And everybody hits that point where enough is a motherfucking enough for them. It don't matter if that's the parents just don't understand God. It don't matter who he was way back when he was a kid. It don't matter that he did 6 degrees of separation and kissed some dude. None of that shit matters. You know what matters? That's a grown goddamn man. 50 something years old, dealing with one of the worst things you can deal with as a man, publicly. And everybody get to have a turn, kicking and making jokes at his expense. Now, you might not think that the joke that, let's get into the what. You might not think the joke that Chris Rock made had anything to do with Will at all. And he was overreacting for doing something, right? No. Angry Man pointed this out because he's the first one on the scene pointing this out. But it's a true fact that I agree with. Because I have been married. And there is a difference between your girlfriend and just the chick that you like or living with or just fucking on or whatever, and your fucking wife. There is a complete difference there. Complete difference. And if you ain't been on one side, you don't know the other. The difference is what Chris said, even though it was a joke on Jada, it was a disrespect to Will. That's fucking with Will. Because it tears down the idea in everybody's mind that you can't say nothing bad about his woman. That shows what kind of man he is. Especially if he just sat there and kept yucking it up. Regardless of what Will and Jada is going through, them is 2 grown married people. They got to work out their shit. But that does not mean anybody on the outside gets to talk shit about either one of them. Especially not in their presence. That is not acceptable. That's when grown folks need to know better to shut their fucking mouth. Now, I've said this already about this whole Kim, Kanye, and Pete Davidson bullshit. And when D.L. Hughley has something really foul to say to Kanye on Twitter, I said the same thing. D.L. need to shut his fucking mouth and stay out of it. It's not his goddamn business. You should not be speaking on that. Because just like Will Smith, that man is going through something with his ex-wife that you should have no part in and stay the fuck out of. Excuse me. Oh my fucking God, dude. You should be out of that. You should stay out of that. You should not jump in and think that you have carte blanche to start talking shit about this man going through all of this. Well, Chris Rock just found out Will ain't for it. So it wasn't just a joke against Jada. That's a joke against that man's wife. Now, truth be told, everybody's saying that the reason why Jada has no hair or lost her hair is because she has alopecia or whatever. I don't think that's what it is. I think Jada may have some kind of cancer and her hair is gone because she's going treatment. She's going to treatment for it. Could be cervical cancer, could be some other stuff. Don't know. Could be breast cancer. You never know. But that would be a reason for a woman who's had a full head of hair for a long time to all of a sudden be bald. It only works for Jada because she has a decent shaped head, so it doesn't look so strange that she's bald. You just know you've always been used to seeing her with long hair or a short cut. Jada is upwards of about 50 years old herself. Something's going on. Now, I would tell you, just from Will's reaction to that shit and how serious he was taking a joke about her being G.I. Jane and being bald and shit like that, that it ain't fucking alopecia. I think she does have some kind of cancer and might be fighting for her life. And raggedy, hood rat or not, Will loves his wife. And when he knows what she's going through that they might not be releasing to the public, he knows what she's going through. He is not going to sit there and let nobody make fun of her. That is not manly at all. Now, did he have to go up there and beat the shit out of Chris Rock? No, he didn't. The slap does the job just as well, as you can see. Because the next thing after that is a punch. Slap shows a bit of class. That's what it does. That's why Chris got slapped. That is the what that Will Smith slapped Chris for. Now, the win part. Well, it's the Oscars 2020. What does that mean? Chris Rock has, I think, hosted the Oscars a couple of times. But not too long ago, on the Oscars, Will and Jada boycotted that shit, right? Jada boycotted it, and Will supported her. So was it outside of me to believe that the Oscars know that they're showing up this year? And, you know, they might have led Chris into, yeah, you can get into talking about these folks that are on the front row. I reminded my mother of this, is that when Jada had her protest against the Oscars, her boycott of the Oscars, and Will supported her, Will paid for that. You want to know how he paid for that shit? After Earth. That's how he paid for it. The critics and everybody else shit canned that movie, which is not a bad movie. They shit canned that movie to hell. And Will Smith was effectively blackballed for a while in Hollywood behind supporting his wife, Jada, who boycotted the Oscars. You know what his comeback career was? Or his comeback movies were? Fucking Aladdin and Suicide Squad. That's why I didn't watch Aladdin, because I knew what it was. It was Will Smith doing the Dutch to get back to making some money in Hollywood, because he was paying for that shit with Jada, for her stance. So happening right now at this time, 2022. Look, I said it on Angry Man Stream. I think 2022 is the pull-up year. You know why 2022 is the pull-up year? Is because people have had a break for 2 years from dealing with actual human beings. Pandemic, post-pandemic. Post-pandemic, people don't have patience anymore. They don't. You haven't noticed? People have really short fuses now. And really not taking a lot of disrespect. They've been cramped and cooped up in the house for a good part of 2 years. away from other people, at home by themselves or with their families in close quarters. They have lost some of those social graces that comes from day-to-day regular interactions with people or people that you don't know. And also have lost that tolerance for people's bullshit. I saw it right when, because I was working during this pandemic, I saw when they started opening things up and people could come out the house. They didn't remember how to act with other people. Real short fuses, real ready to get buck on people. They don't have the patience anymore. And it might be a benefit and it might be a drawback. Because sitting in the house for a long time lets you reflect on how you deal with things in life and how you will reassess how you tolerate shit and how you don't. I saw it in a bunch of regular people. You just saw it with Will Smith. He ain't got that tolerance no more. Not forever. You cannot take a man who's been going through a really tough time, publicize that, and think that everybody gets to make a joke of him indefinitely, or make a joke of his wife or his family. If you want to know anything in life, there's one thing a man will absolutely go to hell for, and that's protecting his family. And like it or not, know they business or not, whatever kind of open relationship, whatever the fuck they might have, Will loves Jada. And that is his family. And he is not letting anybody fuck with that. Good, bad, or indifferent, he's not letting anybody mess with that. And I can tell you that proof positive because I've done it. I've argued and not talked to for years my own mother for saying something against my family. I have a best friend that is no longer my best friend because he said something against my family. And the next time I see him, I'm going to beat the hell out of him for saying something against my family. That's what you don't do. That's what you don't do. I don't give a fuck. And a lot of people is running around calling Will a simp and everything else for all this shit that he's done. As far as I'm concerned, a lot of these people don't really understand manhood. They damn sure don't understand what it means to be married. They don't. These are not the days and time for people to be tolerant of this kind of shit. They're not. They have lost enough. You can only push a man so far before he finally says, enough is a motherfucking enough. Now, where it happened, the Oscars. Now, was it the best move in the world to slap the shit out of Chris Rock live on the Oscars? No, it wasn't. And will it blow back on Will? Yes, it will. It will. Apology or not. And yes, he did apologize later on when he actually won an Oscar for King Richard, which he should have won one for. Should have. But it will come back on him, and it will haunt him. And watching a little bit of that apology that he did, that's why he's crying. Because he realized what he just did could fuck his whole world up. And trust and believe, they will use it to fuck his whole world up. That you saw the last award. You might have seen the last award Will Smith will ever win. And they might be looking to take that one back from the Oscars, will say, for his behavior during the 2020 Oscars. They rescind their nomination and they'll give it to the other person and take that one from Will. See if I'm right. Let's just wait and see. Because what Will had was a real reaction in the moment, in the place. And people want to ask the question, why he had that smoke for August Alsina? Because August Alsina wasn't sitting in his face saying that shit, was he? You don't think when Will found out he wasn't in his house cussing and fucking fussing, wanted to go look for that little motherfucker? He was foul for even saying anything publicly to push an album? Fuck you. That's why they wasn't in front of him at all. You want to talk about August Alsina and Rick Ross making an album? Well, they on the other side of the country sitting in the studio, right? Not in his face. He can't hear it until the song is out. And if he don't listen to Rick Ross, he probably never heard it unless somebody brought it to him. Like, man, they talking about you and your relationship. That's August Alsina trying to get on. You can blow some piddly shit like that off. Trying to use something that he got to get some shine off of me. Fuck him. Let him die in the dark. And behind the scenes, he'll never make another album. Not off my name. Not off slandering me. Different time. That was almost 2 years ago. This was tonight, March 26th. And the person who did it is sitting right in front of you. Or excuse me, standing right in front of you. He didn't have that chill 2 years later. Don't got it. He's probably used up all of that patience already and that goodwill and like, yeah, I'm a nice dude. Everybody likes me. Yeah, okay. Fuck all that. You saw he giggled for a minute like he's just going to laugh it off. Jada wasn't feeling it. And when he looked over and saw Jada, that was it. It was over. He is called into action at that point. That's the man's job. Protect and defend. Now, it's not the best place for something like that to happen because everybody saw it and everybody will be pushing Chris Rock to sue Will Smith and take him to court. Because I told you guys this when I was talking about that shit with Kanye and Kim and Pete Davidson. The media right now is looking for its next black man to demonize. They are. They've been looking. That's why they keep pushing Kanye so goddamn hard. Every fucking day. What's going on with Kim, Kanye, and Pete? Nobody asked. Trying to get Kanye. They're trying to get Chris. They're trying to get any black male they can find because they need another one. Because Bill Cosby got off the hook. And the media love demonizing black men. They need something. Now, I would have thought it was Kanye who was going to crack. Because of the way every day it's some more slanderous shit against him said. And he don't make it no easier firing back. But the other dude that could be in the news about something goofy happening in his marriage and relationship that's just all public is Will Smith. And because of Will Smith's image, he's the last person somebody would think would do some shit like that. But I guess he didn't come from West Philly. I guess he didn't grow up in the rap game and take people calling him all kind of weak and fake and all the rest of that because he got popularity singing songs that ain't got shit to do with cussing and nothing to do with shooting drugs or taking drugs or partying with hella chicks. He's heard all that for years, decades even. And he's handled it with some kind of class. But that is still a grown-ass man. Way grown, with 2 grown kids. You ain't gotta like his children. They ain't your fucking children. You like them. You ain't gotta like his wife. He love her. That's why he married her. That's why he ain't divorced her. And AM said this, and I agree with this as well. That's a man trying to keep his family together. That's why he's standing up there crying. Not because he's just weak sauce. It's because he is an emotional person. That's why he slapped the shit out of Chris. He acted on emotion. And he's realizing how that emotion can burn down everything that he took so long to build. And that's what Denzel reminded him of when he talked to him before he went up there and took his acceptance speech. That's why he was talking about God and the devil, because he understands what it was. He had a flash, and it was a real moment, but it was a flash, and it could cost him everything he ever worked for one moment, because that's what the reality of a black man's life is. One moment will change everything for you. And it don't matter what you was doing in that moment, because everybody wants to see you fail, and they want to help it happen. So where it happened was someplace where he ain't been in a minute. Even Craig Rock, I think, had his issues with the Oscars, but they asked his ass back because they needed it. They needed a draw for somebody to watch this shit. So at the same time they can punish Will for what he did, it'll give them the best ratings they was gonna ever get for this show. And they'll make money off of it. So even in the destruction of his career, they'll profit. And they'll be happy for that. Now, the why. The why of this whole thing. And I've said it multiple times. You cannot keep pushing men. And people in general don't have it anymore. They don't have that patience like that anymore. I am one to tell you, and I have told you guys, that everybody is crazy, in a sense. Everybody has their switch to take them from being that nice, calm person who wouldn't hurt a fly to that person that you wish was never kicking the shit out of your ass. Everybody has that point. Everybody has that switch. Problem is, you don't know what that switch is. You don't know where it is. And when you push it and go looking for it, it's probably going to be too late when you found out that you pushed it. You're probably going to regret that shit. Chris Rock hit Will's spot at the wrong time. And that's why Chris Rock got slapped in his motherfucking face. And he was so kind of dumbstruck about the fact that Will Smith just slapped me. Yes, he did. What you gonna do about it? Because I didn't see you with your guard up. Now, I know comedians' job is to push buttons and push boundaries. I get that. I do get that. But there is something you have to leave of people. There is that last fucking inch of a person you need to leave the fuck alone. And a married man, a married black man, going through infidelity and all the rest of this shit and stuff people say about his kids and him and his sexuality and his wife and their marriage and all the rest of this shit that ain't none of nobody else's goddamn business, has to listen to that ridicule for so long. You should think somebody's gonna pay for that shit sooner or later. Not that he's a loose cannon, not that he's a volcano waiting to explode, but somebody should pay for that sooner or later. Because you need to learn to leave well enough the fuck alone. Leave people who are going through serious shit, which is this possible divorce and keeping your family together and infidelity out in public. That's some of the worst shit men deal with. We ain't trained for that. We can take the fight. Look, even Chris took the slap. Chris Rock is divorced now too. And if you watch Tambourine, you know he ain't feeling that was a joking fucking matter. It ain't funny. Marital problems are not humorous to the people who are going through them. So you definitely can't sit up there and make fun of them because of that shit and think they're easy targets for just making jokes about it. No. There will be repercussions. Now, why he did it? I think Will had enough. Chris pushed that button and found Will Will, as you talk about Jada, and Jada is probably going through something serious. The way Will was acting, I think he really believes or fears that he could lose Jada with whatever the hell she's going through. So there's no fucking alopecia, not something serious. And the most serious thing that will make you lose your hair has to be cancer related. So she's doing what she needs to do, and Will is doing what he needs to do, which is try to protect his wife. So, how is this going to get worked out? We'll for this. White folks is going to make sure Will suffers from this. Black folks will be split on it 50-50. Some people will care Will, and some people will just think, oh, it just makes him look weaker than ever. Because that's black folks. He couldn't win for losing. If he sat there and just let up with all fucked up and everything and didn't do nothing to Chris Rock, everybody would have been still saying the same thing they're saying now, even after he slapped him. They'd have been saying he was a weak motherfucker. He was a weak simp. Does y'all have a good time saying that Will is a weak simp? There was no way for him to win eyes, and because this wasn't done for win or loss. This was done to correct injustice, or I guess, which was talking badly in public about his wife while he was standing there with an earshot to hear. He's not supposed to sit and laugh with you. He is supposed to do exactly what the fuck he did. Knock the shit out of the motherfucker talking shit and tell them to stop. That's married man shit. And I don't see how other black men don't think they understand that shit when they'd be willing to kill a nigga because he gave a girl his phone number or gave his girl his phone number. This dude's going to prison for killing people that some girl they kind of know that they just kind of like asked him to do some dumb shit. Running to her defense like Captain Save a Hoe. And it ain't a chick you fucking. It ain't your sister. It ain't a chick with no interest in you. You just doing it to make brownie points with her. Shut the hell up. So, for me, I'm not mad at Will for that. He should have slapped Chris. Should have. I agree with him slapping the shit out of Chris. And I don't hate Chris Rock. But I think Chris should have known better than to be saying something about Jada. Because you don't know what the fuck is going on. Maybe he could have picked a different joke. Don't matter now, it's in the past. You know that joke was a stinker. It didn't go over well with the crowd. And her husband didn't take too kindly to it. Plain and simple. It'd have been no different than that was a white dude that went up there and slapped the shit out of Chris. Y'all would have been talking all kind of racism, but you wouldn't have said the dude was wrong for slapping the shit out of him. There should be no difference now. Leave married folks and their marital problems alone. That is not fair game for you to just be talking about in public, especially if you've grown and should know better. So that's it on me. Yes, I heard Will Smith apologize. Fine, he apologized. Now it's on Chris. Chris, you gonna accept it, or you gonna try to hurt this man some more by trying to sue him or sue him for assault or some bullshit like that? That would make you look really fucking weak. Y'all can have a celebrity boxing match and let everybody win some money on this dumb shit if you really feel that way. But just remember, Chris, he did play Ali, and he wasn't acting. He did train for him. So you might want to think about that shit. It wasn't a comedy either. So that's it for me. That's all I wanted to say on that. That's about an hour's worth of time, which is probably more than I needed to give it. It's not really a like, share, subscribe. It's just to share my thoughts on it. So I will see you guys next time. Peace.